Imagine you're sitting at home, maybe scrolling through your feed, and suddenly the news breaks. It's not a hoax. Astronomers have confirmed it. We found intelligent life on another planet. Cities, lights, a civilization. So, what would we do next? Do we call them? Do we send a team? Do we hide? Let's follow the thread. This is the story of what humanity might do after we discover we're not alone. First, let's set the scene. A space telescope captures something odd on a rocky exoplanet nearby. They're patterned lights, regular, turning on and off with the rhythm of a city grid. Follow-up observations reveal strange emissions, radio waves in a tight frequency band, not natural, not random. We found evidence of a civilization. Now what happens next? We might be tempted to try to talk to them, but we shouldn't jump into unknown waters without testing the temperature first. And in space, that instinct is even stronger. Just think of how we approached Mars. We didn't send astronauts, we sent machines. First flybys, then orbiters, then a humble little rover called Sojourner, and then bigger and better explorers, Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and finally Perseverance in 2021. So if we found intelligent life on, say, a planet we could reach within decades, we wouldn't start by chatting nor sending people. We'd send probes, and at the same time, listen from home, track their cities, read their signals. Maybe a stealth lander with cameras, microphones, and AI designed to blend in and learn. It wouldn't be a global consensus project, not at first. Realistically, the nation or agency that found them would take the lead, with the quiet blessing or frustration of everyone else. But from here, the road splits, because everything we do next depends on one question. What are they like? And the possibilities are endless. But let's focus on 4 major paths humanity might take, based on what we learn from those first silent observations. In all of them, we will consider the aliens to be less technologically advanced than us. After all, we found them and not the other way around. Let's walk through each one. Scenario 1. They're peaceful. Maybe the first thing our probes see are cooperative societies. Cities without fortresses. A civilization that evolved through cooperation, not wars. No signs of weaponry. Their broadcasts, if we can decode them, carry music, math, and conversation, not war chants. They're clearly advanced, but not aggressive. What happens then? Well, cautiously, we might try to respond. Not with hello, but with something more universal. Math, patterns, symbols. Just like we sent on the Voyager spacecraft. Golden records with prime numbers, human DNA, and Beethoven. We might beam out a signal using radio waves or lasers, carrying carefully chosen information. Where we are, what we're like, what we hope for. But even then, we'd debate. Politicians would argue, religious leaders would weigh in, social media would explode. Do we even want them to know we're here? And even if we do contact them, who speaks for Earth? This is more than a science problem. It's a worldwide political crisis. Still, if contact does go well, if they respond with friendship or understanding or curiosity, the benefits could be unimaginable. A shared library of knowledge, medical breakthroughs, climate solutions, a second perspective on existence itself. Scenario 2, they're hostile. Now, let's flip the story. What if what we see from our probes isn't peace but power? We spot war machines, defense platforms, and nukes. A planetary history of conquest. Maybe we pick up violent broadcasts. And worst of all, maybe our probe gets detected and shot down. What do? Nothing. At least nothing loud. We'd go completely silent. Turn off the beacons, hide our transmissions, stop sending signals into space. This actually has a name in the scientific community, the dark forest hypothesis. Imagine the universe is a forest. Every civilization is a hunter. And the safest thing you can do is stay quiet. Because if they hear us and they're not friendly, we are a target. So humanity would probably go into deep observation mode. No more active SETI, no attempts at messages. Meanwhile, military budgets would explode. A new defense coalitions would form. AI-powered space surveillance would go from a research field to a global priority. We might even try to develop interstellar defense systems, though realistically, we're nowhere near that capability. The bottom line? Contact becomes fear. Discovery becomes secrecy. Earth becomes a fortress. And in a very real sense, we stop looking outward and start looking over our shoulder. We can't help but wonder if someone out there has already found us and concluded we are hostile. Maybe that's why there has been no contact yet. Scenario 3, they have something that we want. What if our probes discover that the aliens aren't neither particularly aggressive nor friendly, but their planet is full of gold, or rare metals, or a unique energy source we've never seen before. Maybe the atmosphere is breathable. Maybe the water is pure. Maybe it's a geologist's dream and an economist's fantasy. Now what? Well, this is where things get messy. Publicly, Earth's governments would debate ethics. Should we interfere? Do we have the right to take anything? Is this another colonization waiting to happen? Privately, the race would begin. Think megacorporations, special forces, secret drone landings, and quiet harvesting of resources while we study the natives. If they're intelligent but non-technological, something like early Homo sapiens, then Earth faces a moral crisis. Do we treat them as equals or as a resource? It's not a new story. It's just a cosmic version of our own history. Even peaceful contact would likely be used as a foot in the door. First, share medicine, then trade, then build infrastructure, then control. And if they protest, then we have the first off-world political struggle in history. The real question becomes, have we learned from our own past, or are we just bringing colonialism to the stars? Scenario 4, a planet where we could live. Okay, fourth possibility. We find a planet with life, but that's it. No gold, no advanced tech, no commercial value except that it's alive. Maybe we see the equivalent of forests, fish, birds, insects, a population of smart aliens that are still on their own version of the Stone Age. A whole ecosystem, utterly alien and utterly amazing. And maybe we could see ourselves living there. So what do we do? Well, that depends on who we are. Some would argue for preservation. Don't touch it. Let it evolve. Study it from afar. Others would say, this is our chance. We need more space, more land, more real estate, more opportunity. So we'd likely begin with scientific missions, rovers and drones, like the ones we sent to Mars, but designed for biology. They'd land gently, sample the air and soil, study DNA or its equivalent, and soon after, a small base, a few scientists, then infrastructure, then maybe, slowly, people. Because if it's habitable, even barely, someone will want to live there. It starts like Antarctica, ends like Australia, and the planet changes forever. Even without advanced aliens, this is still a huge turning point for Earth. Because it raises the question, is life itself worth protecting, even when there's nothing to gain? In all these scenarios, there is no simple answer, because what we do after finding life depends not just on what they are, but on who we are. Are we cautious explorers, greedy opportunists, careful scientists, or reckless adventurers? The truth is, it'll probably be a mix of all of those. Some will push for profit, others for peace. Some people will panic, others will pray. The whole decision process might change us more than contact itself, because thinking about aliens forces us to ask, are we ready to be seen? What kind of civilization are we? Would we want someone to treat us the way we might treat them? In that sense, the search for extraterrestrial life is really a mirror, and in looking for them, we might finally see ourselves.